So if you find yourself watching this video, it's either a late night and you fell down a wormhole, or you're interested in learning how to grow some microgreens, in specific broccoli microgreens. And the way that I will show you here is an easy, efficient way to grow some quality broccoli microgreens. Also, if you are interested in learning about some of the benefits of broccoli microgreens specifically, such as its anti-aging components or properties, as well as reducing your risk of cancer, various types of cancer, and just helps for the development of a healthy brain. Who wouldn't want a healthy brain? You can check out a video by Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who was featured on the Joe Rogan show. She's very knowledgeable on the subject, and I will link her video below in the description. But without further ado, let's do it!
These are the following items you will need in order to complete this mission. I will also link these items in the description below. First is a 10 by 20 seeding tray with no holes in the bottom. Second is a plastic bag that is big enough to fit the 10 by 20 tray inside of. Third is your preferred growing medium. I prefer hemp. Fourth is a spray bottle filled with water. You will also need hydrogen peroxide, which is not shown in this video. And last is the seeds you're planting. The first thing you want to do is soak your mat completely in water and then drain out the excess water, as you can see me doing there. If you're using a coconut mat, you'll have to soak it for at least 12 hours. If you're using a hemp mat, just go ahead and soak it for a couple minutes and then drain out the excess. It's important you drain out the excess because it could cause problems in the future. Next, place the mat inside of the tray and start spreading out your seeds. For seeds the size of broccoli and kale, I like to use 1.2 to 1.4 ounces of seed. I also like to use either a bendable plastic cup, something that you can bend into a funnel shape, or a receptacle with a spout on it. Then I'll just start to go in sort of a back and forth pattern until the majority of the mat is covered. After that, I'll just kind of move around to the spots that I feel like are a little bit bare and just try to fill them in as best as I can. By no means does it have to be perfect, and don't try to make it perfect because you never will. Just try to spread them out as best as you can. And if you feel like there are some spots that are really clumped together, just go ahead and use your finger and spread those spots out like I'm doing here. It is important to make sure there's no huge clumps of seed. The next step is to grab your spray bottle full of water as well as the hydrogen peroxide. Go ahead and place the spray head of the water bottle into the hydrogen peroxide and just lightly mist the seeds. This helps by sanitizing the seeds. It also helps reduce the growth of anaerobic bacteria, and the hydrogen peroxide also can promote healthy root growth. After you're done lightly misting with the hydrogen peroxide, go ahead and do the same thing with the water. All you want to do is just make sure that all of the seeds are nice and moist. Next, go ahead and grab the plastic bag and place the tray inside of the bag. And then grab the water bottle and just lightly mist from the front to the back of the top of the plastic bag. And it does help to get a nice spray bottle. As you can see here, I'm kind of struggling with mine. And one other thing that does help that I don't show in the video is poking about 15 to 20 holes in the top of the bag with a safety pin. This just allows for more breathability. After this step, you're done. You can go ahead and place it in a somewhat dark area. After planting, these next steps are something you're going to want to do at least once, maybe twice a day. First, grab the top of the bag and just pull on it slightly just to get some new air exchange within the bag. Next, go ahead and pull out the sprayer that we use to plant and just spray both the mat and the top of the bag. Make sure you have a good, even spray distribution and that you're moistening all parts of the mat as well as all parts of the top of the bag. Now, upon looking in the bag, if you see some bare spots like I'm pointing at here, go ahead and take the tray out of the bag and spray that one particular spot a little bit extra with water. After you spray that spot, you can just go ahead and spray the remaining of the mat as well. Typically, I honestly like to take the tray out of the bag at least once a day, just to get some fresh air in there. And finally, after about 3 to 4 days, you can go ahead and take it out of the bag and put it under your lighting system. I usually leave it under the lights for about 8 to 10 hours a day. So from this point on, we will only be watering hydroponically. So just carefully grab one corner of the mat and pull it up enough to be able to get some water into the bottom of the tray. And then just place the mat back down. And I also like to give the tray a little tilt just to get the water moving. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. And I typically do this once a day, watering 6 ounces of water on each side of the tray. Some signs if you water too much is the mat will just be holding way too much water and it'll just be waterlogged. If you didn't water enough, the bottom of the tray will be bone dry and the microgreens will start to droop. All right, and finally, these guys are ready to harvest. This typically comes about 8 to 10 days after planting.
Sometimes all they need is just the good old sun. But hey, if you're interested in learning how to harvest these guys, check out my video about harvesting these guys. Until next time.